Oh, boy. Good morning. It's 6:13. 13 minutes past 6 o'clock on a Tuesday morning.
Good morning.
Here we go for another warm day is on the way, folks. Another beautiful day on the way. We'll have some sun today with temperatures up near 60 degrees. It'll be warmer tomorrow. More clouds, though, tomorrow than expected, but it's still going to be up near 70 tomorrow.
I'm going to knock on Formica here, or whatever this is, but
there's wood on the side.
Rachel Witter yesterday at 6 o'clock news said she thinks we're out of it now. We're like, this is spring.
Listen, as my grandmother once said,
Yeah.
we're good for another 1 or 2 snowstorms.
Yeah. Well, she did say that. I will tell you that. She said it's always possible some storm could pop up. She said, but if you're looking at 10, 11 days straight in March, where it's 50 plus.
50s at least.
She thinks, that means this is spring.
We're looking at, it's been spring for how long? It's been spring since November. We had a couple of rough runs. Other than that, this has been, terrible if you're a snowmobiler, terrible if you're a skier, terrible if you own a snowmobile sales company or a ski resort or Val Bialis. It's just it's a problem. We will talk to Mark Ford later on this morning. Mark is the guy that has invested in Val Bialis. And I think our advice to Mark today is just going to be, hey, what could we do at Val Bialis in the summertime? When the weather is much nicer. And even then, sometimes it's hard to depend on doing something outdoors because you sometimes get rain in the summer. Okay, a lot of news going on. Last night's show at the Stanley, I got to talk about that. And listen, don't get upset. But I'm going to do something this morning at 7:30 that I don't think has ever been done on WIBX.
Now I'm scared.
And but we might be making history here. And look at him gulp. He's gulping. Because Manaski, you have to understand, Manaski is the protector.
He's the boss
of WIBX.
I'm the protector. I've got a sword and shield.
Yeah. So this is why the rule is always do it, and then there's forgiveness that you can ask for later. There's a saying in there somewhere.
That's not the rule.
But I'm pretty sure that's an awesome rule. It's the rule.
I like what you do, the method that you employ, which is you kind of get Manaski involved, entangled in it.
Yes, this is
so
important.
That when you get in trouble,
it's like, listen,
hey, the boss was there.
He was in on it and everything, and he was dealing with the whole deal. That's how we do it, Andrew. This is how it rolls. The show last night was so amazing. I thought. Now, interestingly, this is it's a 30-year show or something. I mean, it's been around for a long time.
You're talking about
so
Rain.
much so, Rain last night at the Beatles show at the Stanley. So much so that the guy who played Paul McCartney, who we had on the air last Thursday, that guy is a kid. I mean, they're young. They look like they're in their 20s. They could be older, but they look like they're in their 20s. And but he is the son of the original guy who played Paul McCartney in Rain.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's really pretty cool. And they were amazing last night. And what was most amazing about it was they clearly this show studies the mannerisms. It studies every part in every song. The show studies what would happen when they were on stage, how John would act, and how John would act with George, and how during a certain live performance that was notorious, how Paul what he might say. I mean, and then yet it was still kind of mixing it into a live show. There was an encore, and that's all planned, but everybody bought in. It was, and to be honest with you, show me a show you've been to where the encore really isn't planned anyway,
right,
except for the groups that really started the encore, and that was groups like really the Beatles. That's
right.
And the encore was people wouldn't leave, so they sent you back out to play another song. And since then, it's become kind of it's become like the garter and bouquet thing at a wedding. It's just become something that's standard, and to me, it's kind of ridiculous. But last night, it was amazing as you waited and people just stood there, and you're talking about Beatles fans that were that were graduating high school in the 50s and 60s. And it was incredible. That's all I can tell you. And because of it, I'm inspired. We'll do something that I think hasn't been done here. At least has never been done since maybe the 60s or something like that. That's going to be exciting. It's going to be really exciting.
Okay.
I have a Tracy Morgan tickets to give away for tonight. That is a, I believe, sold-out show at the Stanley Theater. And he is the comedian from Saturday Night Live. You'll remember him maybe on 30 Rock. And but in addition to that, he was in that terrible accident when the Walmart truck hit him as they were on their way. Where were they? They were headed to a show, right, Andrew?
Right, but that show's at Turning Stone.
What did I say? Where did
Stanley.
Oh, it's not at the Stanley. Why would you say that, Andrew? It's at the Turning Stone tonight. Anyway, that show, I believe, is a sold-out show. You could call 361-SHOW for details if you'd like. But I have a pair of tickets to give away. They're nice seats. They're table seats. Really nice tickets that we'll have to give away at some point later on this morning. What else? How about the kid on? Did you follow any of this, Andrew? Because I didn't see it. I was out watching the Beatles.
Yeah,
I did see it last night. Wow.
3 of the 4 judges.
4.
2 of the 4. All 4 judges.
I saw all 4. Yeah.
Wow.
So can I just say
this is the kid from Whitesboro? Where's he from?
What are we
Clinton.
talking about? The Voice?
Yeah.
The Voice last night.
Okay.
This kid's voice is absolutely incredible.
They all loved him.
They did. They really did. And I don't watch the show, so I'm like, all right, do they gush over everybody like this?
No.
Yeah.
They were all over him. They loved him. And who's the guy from Maroon 5?
Adam Levine.
He said, I have a very low voice, or a high voice. I have a very high voice. And for it to catch my attention and for me to compliment you on this, you have a very high voice. But he does a lot of great things with it. We saw him one night at Shots.
Yep.
I don't even remember why we were out. We were out doing something, and he was playing there. And Andrew and I were both like, whoa, this was probably 2 years ago, but this has probably been a long time coming, and I think this kid's going to do really great. He's got the look. Seems to have a great personality.
Yeah.
He was on the show for 30 seconds talking, and then he just blew him away last night.
That he blew everybody away is really,
well, and he's got
really
the story
big.
too. I mean, he's he's a music teacher for kids. I believe he's at the House of Good Shepherd, working with kids that have been traumatized, and that was really big with the judges. The fact that he is teaching music to kids that need it most, and so.
All right, we're gonna play a little something from last night, but they loved this kid. You're gonna see a lot more of him coming up. 6:20 right now. Christine with an update.